We are off and rolling again this morning. It is the day after the 4th of July, and we are headed out to an appointment to get the power of attorney so that James can leave and not have to come back. We are outside waiting for our car. James would rather not be in the video this morning, so that's fine. But I do want to thank everyone for any comments that you have given. It's been very nice, feeling like, we're connecting with people. Also want to welcome our new subscribers. We've had a few new subscribers. I just want to say welcome. Welcome anyone who's new, welcome anyone who's back. It's just really cool to build a community. So our car will be here any minute. So if you are moving into this adoption process, your agency, when you come out here, your agency should arrange any transportation for you that has to do with the adoption. They should also be setting up the appointments for you. If they are not, then there is an issue because that is part of what you're paying them for. Now, anything that is not adoption related, like how we went out to the salt mines, or you go to an amusement park, you go to a store, then that's for you to arrange. Here we go. That looks like, I think that's our van that just pulled up right over there. Go check it out, make sure. I don't want to just jump into a random van. Yes, this was our van, and we are off. Getting out, stretching our legs, walking around. What? Oh, it's a little bird hanging out there on the ground. Poor little thing. Oh, they're like, we gotta help the bird. and James said, no, you'll get diseases. Don't mess with the bird. Oh, we have little birds at our house. We have a little nest. I showed you in a previous video, but we have a little nest where the birds nest. And there's little babies in the spring. Well, sometimes the babies fall out because they're not ready to fly yet. And then of course, the kids are like, oh, we gotta save the bird, but there's not really anything we can do. So this is a game called Die Safari. See the little box over there. This is one that we've gotten into playing on this trip. Y Juan, ¿qué dijiste ahora a Dad? What did you say to Dad? War. Yeah. This is war. It's on now. Okay, so to kind of wrap up this video for the day, I want to talk about the delays that are happening, and that if you are coming out here soon, that there's a good chance that you will also be delayed. So I talked about before how the director of ICBF, which is Colombian Social Services, is out of town, that there are some other people in other towns, other, I guess, directors of other towns that have been, I don't know if they've been let go or fired or just replaced. I'm not sure exactly the situation, but because of the lack of staff, she is working outside of Bogota to try to fill in those gaps. Well, because of that, that's what happened. So it's been like 3 weeks ago when we went to get the paperwork signed at ICBF. Now, when we adopted Paula, the paperwork was signed by her that same day. We walked out the door with the paperwork, no big deal. Well, it's been like 3 weeks now. We did get our paperwork back, but that's, that delayed us here 3 weeks, which has caused us a lot of, a lot of issues with, you know, my husband came back and he got more time off work so he could come back. It's cost us a whole lot more money, and it's caused some issues at home, some things that we've had to rearrange, things we've had to postpone and reschedule. So so today, I did talk about 4th of July. I normally haven't talked about, you know, specifically what days we're here for things. But so today is the 5th of July. As of today, this is what the situation is, so that you can gauge that. We received this message from our adoption agency, and I wanted to read it to you so you know what is going on. So she said, "Good afternoon. I want to give you an update about the situation with the Article 23. So that's the paperwork from ICBF that the director has to sign. The fact that they have made no accommodations to resolve delays due to her absence in another region is very unfortunate. There are several common sense workarounds which they have not been willing to consider, and it's delaying many families, including you. Our agency, which I haven't talked about what our agency, but it says our agency, including other agencies, have requested help from the National Council for Adoption to advocate for officials at ICBF, expressing the significant cost of money, time and stress on families awaiting the Article 23. Thankfully you have yours, but families coming behind you will also be negatively impacted unless or until ICBF resolves the situation. I just want to let you know again that you were not alone in the delay, and there are many people working to try and resolve it with ICBF. We have also sent another follow-up request to the U.S. Embassy requesting again your appointment. So it was last Friday when we sent a request for our appointment, and yeah, it's Wednesday and we still haven't gotten an appointment time. So I don't know what's going on there with the U.S. Embassy. I mean, I know they were closed, you know, they're not going to set up an appointment over the weekend probably, and they were closed Tuesday because of the 4th of July. But it still seems you know, like they're taking a long time. We have been advising others to be prepared and plan accordingly. Unfortunately for you, you were the first family to experience the Article 23 situation from our agency. I know there are other families, but you know, from our agency. This year has been one of significant changes at ICBF, the most I've seen in my 10 plus years working in Colombia, and all are negatively impacting families either emotionally or financially, whether waiting for dossier approvals, referrals, encuentro, or time in country. Another big change that happened was the psychological report that took us an extra 2 months. It was either 2 or 3 months. It added on 2 or 3 months to our adoption. That has affected a lot of people. ICBF has done a very poor job of communicating about things to agencies, and I can only hope that everything that's happening is going to improve things for the children and families. Yeah, so that is the gist of what is happening right now. So I know I'm delaying these videos, and so you won't see this immediately, you know, like on July 5th or 6th or 7th, but if you are getting ready to come out soon and you see this video, I do advise you to talk to your agency about what the situation is currently in Colombia. Ask them about the ICBF director, if she is still out of Bogota, if she's back in Bogota, what the turnaround time is for getting that Article 23 signed. Because like I said, it's been an extra 3 weeks that we weren't planning on being here. And so families need to know that, to plan for that, to plan for the extra money, the extra cost, to plan for, you know, whether their kids are going to be out of school, plan for childcare, home care, whatever, appointments, plan for work, like all those things, you know. And we were kind of sideswiped by it because this was, you know, like our agency said, we were the first one from our agency to experience it. So we were planning on 5, maybe 6 weeks, and that's how it would have been if the director had been there at ICBF. But because she wasn't, it was an extra 3 weeks, and it's caused us some issues. But you know, that is another good point to bring up, that there will be issues that come up. There will be delays, there'll be little things. You know, maybe your adoption does go like super smoothly. Some of them do. Our first adoption went amazingly smooth. It only took 2 weeks. And there was another lady here with her family, and they did an adoption 2 years ago, and it took them just barely under 3 weeks. You know, so theirs went very fast and quick. And you know, and then there are other people. I was talking to one of the guys at the front desk at the hotel here. I was, you know, because we had to talk to him about extending our stay, like for the 4th time. And he's like, you know, it's okay. You know, sometimes it takes a long time. There was a family that was here literally for a year. And I was like, what? No, did I understand you wrong? He said, no, it was during COVID. They got here and then COVID happened and they got trapped because the Colombian government wasn't letting people, they weren't even hardly letting people leave the buildings. There was a lot of lockdown. And, you know, of course, all the government buildings shut down. There was nothing happening with adoptions. There weren't even flights going in and out, so they couldn't even just go home. So they were here in Colombia for like a year trying to get the adoption done. So as annoying as it is to be here for 2 months trying to do this adoption, thank goodness we are not going to be here anywhere near that long. But families need to know, like, you need to know that you might need to plan for just a little longer than you thought. All right, well, we got word this evening that we do have an appointment at the embassy. Hurrah. The appointment is at 7:30 in the morning, so the car is picking us up at 6:40, which we don't like. But hey, whatever. We'll get up as early as we need to get this appointment done. All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so real quick, I showed you this game that we were playing called Dice Safari, and I figured I might as well give a little shout out. This is actually my sister and her husband. This is their game and their company, Stratus Games. And they've done other games, and they also have a magazine that talks about different board games. It's called Casual Game Insider. It's, if any of you are aware of Game Informer, that one is all about video games. It's just like that magazine, but for board games. So if you're interested, I mean, they're not like paying me to do this. I just, you know, she's my sister, so I'm going to talk about her stuff. But I will leave a link to their website, to Stratus Games, and to their magazine as well if you are interested in checking it out.